In Philippians 4, verse 13, it says, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Just as the deficit reverse lunge requires us to step back and trust in our ability to return to standing like this, our faith in Jesus Christ requires us to trust in his strength to carry us through life's challenges. May we lean on him and his power to overcome every obstacle, knowing that with him, we can do all things. I'm Ramon Hunter. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the deficit reverse lunge exercise. Now, before going any further, I just would like to say that this exercise is an advanced exercise. It's a very challenging exercise on a scale from 1 to 10. It's rated at an 8 or a 9 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. All right. It requires a lot of flexibility, the weight-bearing joints, hip, knee, and ankle. It requires a good range of motion, balance, coordination, and stability. It requires a lot of muscle strength as well. Now, I wouldn't suggest that you go and jump right into doing this exercise. Master the basic one first, which is the regular, typical reverse lunge. All right? Once you have mastered the reverse lunge and you have progressed gradually, incrementally, then you can go up now to the deficit reverse lunge. And it's called a deficit reverse lunge because you're on a height and you're stepping back. So there's more depth for you to go down, right? So that's where that term comes from, the deficit reverse lunge. You're adding more depth to your reverse lunge. Okay, but it's still a wonderful exercise, a good exercise to really target your glutes. It's a quad dominant exercise, so it really helps to build the quads as well. And it helps in terms of further increasing and improving your functionality, your functional performance, your athletic performance. It really helps with balancing and stability of your load-bearing or weight-bearing joints. The starting position of this exercise, you're standing on a raised surface. So I'm using here a step up. It can be at any level in terms of raising. It can start very low, probably about 2 inches above the floor. Then it can gradually increase to 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches above the floor. But you do it step by step, all right? Don't just go straight into the deep end and neglect the reverse lunge and go straight into the deficit reverse lunge, because you need to understand the technicalities of it. All right, so it's very important to really master the technicalities, your form, your technique with the regular reverse lunge before you go into the deficit reverse lunge. All right, so you're on a raised surface, and what you're doing is stepping back. Your feet are shoulder width apart. You want to make sure that the chest is up. Gauge your core. You use the same technique, the same principle that you would use for your regular reverse lunge. You add it to the deficit reverse lunge. It's just that now you're stepping down at a depth. All right, you're stepping down at a depth. So you want to make sure, be careful. So you step back. Start breaking it down into components. You step back like that. Once you have your landing, make sure that the back foot is on the toes. You're going to bend both knees and allow the knee to go down and then back up. Okay, so you're lunging backwards. Stepping back first, make sure you have your balance. Step back, stabilize and have your balance first before you perform. So stabilize before performance. Stabilize before performance. That is very important for any exercise. You don't want to perform the exercise with a lot of torque and a lot of force and a lot of load and high intensity and neglect stabilization. You neglect stabilization. As a result of that, that is what increases the risk of joint damage, muscle injury. All right? So you want to stabilize first before performance. So you step back, stabilize, make sure you're balanced properly, and then you lower yourself into the lunge, back up, and return to starting position. All right? Step back. Once you can get the hang of this, lunge, and then return to starting position. Okay? Make sure you brace the core, because the stronger, the tighter the core is, the more braced the core is the easier it is to control your body weight. It is easier to control the momentum. All right? You don't want to be swinging. You want to make sure you have good control of the movement. Step back, catch yourself first, stabilize before going into the lunge, then step back up and return to starting position. Okay? That's a deficit reverse lunge. So again, I'm going to do it one movement, boom, and then return. Down, and then return. You can use your hands to help control, to help with the balance. And once you get the hang of this and you master this technique, you can use weights, you can use dumbbells, you can use bottles of water at home. Make sure that the raised surface that you're standing on is stable, it's not wobbly. Make sure it is well supported. All right? So even though this exercise is an advanced or high difficulty exercise, it's a really good exercise. It really helps to strengthen the joints, it helps to strengthen the muscles around the joints to provide support and stability. It helps with good balance. It helps with your functional performance, athletic performance. You really reap the benefits and the gains from this exercise once it's done properly. All right, you can switch feet if you want. You can alternate like that. Or you can just stick with one leg at a time. Complete your sets. When you're stepping up, you want to make sure that you press up through the heel. So again, you step back, back foot on the toes. You want to make sure that you, as you stabilize, you go down, balance first. Press up through the heel. Press up, squeeze the glutes, and return to starting position. Back, up, squeeze, tighten the glutes, boom. Down, press up through the heel, tighten the glutes, and back up. The deficit reverse lunge. I wouldn't recommend, if it is that you have knee problems or hip problems or ankle problems, I wouldn't recommend that you perform this exercise first. Do lighter exercises first. Reduce the intensity. Consult with your medical doctor, physiotherapist, or personal trainer before performing this exercise. If it is that while performing this exercise you have an increase in pain in your knee or your hip, then start from performing this exercise. All right? So I really hope and pray that you enjoy this exercise. Again, it's a wonderful exercise to add to your program. Once you get the technique done properly, make sure you do the reverse lunge first. Master that one before you progress to this exercise. Remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Rowan Hunter. Have a wonderful day. Blessings.